Well, the weather stopped us from being in studio, but it didn't stop us from giving you plenty of updates on Temple Athletics.
Grab a hot beverage, get comfy, and prepare for a wintry mix of all your favorite Temple sports. OwlSports Update starts right now.
Hello, Owls fam. Welcome back to another edition of OwlSports Update virtually. He's Ray Dunne, and I'm Courtney Murphy. We have 7 sports to get through in the next 30 minutes.
Fall sports, winter sports, spring sports, buckle up. There's a lot to get to, and we start with men's basketball's recent road trip.
First, we look ahead to another shakeup in the schedule. The Owls have a bit of a small break before their next opponent, the USF Bulls. The Owls and Bulls sit in second and third to last place in the conference, respectively. The last time the Owls played USF was back in March. With only 3 weeks until the AAC tournament, the Owls are looking to snap their 5-game losing streak and hopefully end the season on a good note. The teams will face off in Philly on the 21st at 2 and in Tampa on the 24th at 7. Now to that losing streak, Temple has never won a game at Tulsa. Right out of the gate, chances are not looking good. Tulsa's Darian Jackson makes the steal and Kayshawn Embry-Simpson with the layup. Coming back is Khalif Battle with the jumper. Count him, and the Owls tie the game. 2 minutes left of the first half. Emmanuel Ugbo banks it in from bird's eye view. Owls are not looking good. Down 30-22 at the half. Second half, Tay Strickland finds his balance and lobs it in. Tulsa is quick to respond and extends the lead, going on a 7-0 run, leading by as much as 18. 2 minutes left, Elijah Joyner from downtown. The Owls cut the lead to under 10, but not enough, losing 72-66.
Well, we got to get better. We got to get in the gym. We got to get better. I mean, I wish it was the other way around, but we got to get in the gym and we got to get better, and we got to keep building.
He was adamant on really just keep pushing and just keep trying to find a way to fight back. It's never too late to keep fighting. So that was really his message.
We're playing so many inexperienced guys, but I think on the other side of it, it'll be really good for us.
It's been a particularly frustrating stretch for the Owls over the past few games, and it's not getting any easier. With so much to break down, it's time we talk to an expert. That's where I turn to Courts in Session anchor Josh Safran, who joins us now. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Ray. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Let's start with a wide lens on this team. 5 straight losses. What's gone wrong for this team through this stretch?
Well, the problem in my eyes is apparent, and it's inexperience both on the court and on the sidelines. This Temple backcourt never played a game together going into the season. Let's not forget, this is Aaron McKie's 2nd season ever as head coach. A lot of these games are being decided by small margins. The biggest discrepancy between the W's and L's has been 3-point shooting. During this 5-game losing streak, Temple is shooting 29% from behind the arc. And in their 4 wins, Temple shot a combined 36% from 3.
Let's turn this to the positive light. I'm a generally positive guy. Where do you see signs of progression with this team moving forward?
Well, Ray, if you take the game against Tulane out of the equation, the Owls' last 4 losses have been decided by an average of 3.5 points. What this says to me is this team does have talent to hang with their conference opponents. And this season, to me, it's not about the growing pains, but it's of the utmost importance for Temple's coach and backcourt to work together. With a year under their belts, a returning Jake Forrester, and a great recruit in the form of Zach Hitz, Owls fans have a reason to hoot next season, hopefully just not from home.
Now, I'm not looking that far ahead right now, but looking directly ahead of the Owls, USF coming up. The Bulls were in COVID-19 protocols for a while and have struggled since retaking the floor. What do you see in that matchup?
I'm just going to come right out and say it. I'm seeing a Temple victory in this one. First and foremost, you touched on it, Ray. USF went a whole month without any basketball activities. Since they've returned, they haven't found the win column once. USF only has one player in their lineup who averages double figures, and as a team, the Bulls are averaging just 67.6 points a game. It's great news for Temple, and they always hold their opponent to 67 points or less. They're 4-1 this season.
Some insightful stuff from you, Mr. Saffron. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch Josh on Courts in Session up right now on the OwlSports Update YouTube channel.
Thanks, Ray.
Captain J.P. Mormon continues to carry his leadership on and off the court. Over the summer, he attended Black Lives Matter protests and worked with the AAC Racial Equity Action Group. OwlSports Update's Luke Milai talks more about this group and Mormon's leadership.
In the summer of 2020, while the sports world and Temple in particular was weathering COVID, J.P. Mormon saw firsthand the social unrest that consumed the nation from coast to coast.
When change comes, it's slow. It always has been, but I think the people who have influence need to take a step up.
It's players like Mormon who have joined the AAC to respond to the need for racial equality, and the result is the new AAC Racial Equality Action Group.
The ability to affect or have an effect on every student and every staff member's experience while they're part of the American Conference was really something that I thought was special.
The group's mission is keeping racism out of sports within the conference, and it starts with the student athletes. There's a little more significance to Temple's involvement in the group. For a school with one of the highest diversity rates in the conference, along with being in the diverse city of Philadelphia, it is very important for Temple athletics to stay closely involved.
If our school doesn't have the first seat at the table, quite frankly, we need to be the second, but we need to be one of the first people at the table.
We're in big cities, and big cities usually have a proportionate number of people who are affected by systematic racism.
Mormon is the student athlete representative for Temple. About 9 months in, this group is still very much a work in progress, and Mormon is anxious for a specific game plan.
What I would like to see happen with this group moving forward would be to definitely spark more change in the communities surrounding our schools that need them most.
The group expects to release a full course of action created from student-athlete recommendations in the next month. They expect to see the full results of this plan over the next calendar year. Reporting for OwlSports Update, I'm Luke Milai.
Now on the women's basketball side, they've enjoyed a bounce-back week following their lopsided loss to Houston last week.
The Owls go back on a 2-game road trip, starting strong in Oklahoma to hopefully finish strong in Memphis.
After the postponement of women's basketball's trip to Memphis slated for Saturday, the Owls will turn their focus to USF next Wednesday. The Bulls are ranked 12th nationally and are unbeaten in AAC play. They boast a 3-head monster in Elena Snecki, Sydney Harvey, and Bethy Manunga, all of which average more than 12 points per game. Tip-off of this one will be at 3:30 in the afternoon on ESPN+.
On the court, the Owls were on the road down in Oklahoma to take on Tulsa. First quarter, Jaisha Clinton making it rain from downtown. Owls up 24-11. Second quarter again, Jaisha Clinton comes for her second 3, having 12 for the night. Owls lead by 22 at halftime. Third quarter, Mia Davis lays it in, adding 2 to her 17 for the night. Still third quarter, Jada Graves with a wide open layup. And that sums it up for Tulsa, who never had a lead. Owls extend their win streak to 2 with a 68-46 win. It's the same sport, different day. It's Saturday's game against ECU Pirates. First quarter action, it's steal from Ashona Alexander, who passes Mia Davis. Signed, sealed, delivered, points are hers. 16-12 at the end of the first quarter. Seconds left of the half, ECU Sierra DaCosta banks in a 3-pointer, extending the lead to 10, 31-21 at halftime. Third quarter, the Owls making a comeback. Mia Davis from beyond the arc, cutting the lead down to 1, 44-43 at the end of the third. 20 seconds left, Owls down by 1. Who is it? Mia Davis scoring the game-winning basket. She finished with 20 points, and the Owls secure a nail-biting 58-57 win.
Out of the timeout with a play drawn up.
We've got to take our first break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we head to the pitch where both the men's and women's team faced off against UCF over the weekend. Plus, we'll see how volleyball is doing after its first loss of the season. The rain and snow mix greeted the Owls in their home opener against UCF this past weekend. Goalie Nicholas Hartman blocked the shot within the second minute of play. This was just one of his 5 saves of the game. 38th minute, Gino Viv gets the only goal of the game for UCF, 1-0. In the 81st minute, Amir Cohen gets a free kick, but it's easily knocked away from the UCF goalkeeper Yannick Otto. The Owls, they lose this one, 1-0.
Now on to women's soccer, where Saturday was the debut of new head coach Nick Boucher. The Owls faced 2 teams, UCF and Villanova, within the past 4 days. The Owls had another match Wednesday against hometown rival Villanova. 3 different Owls each scored the 3 goals. Haley Gutowski scored the first goal of the game in the 53rd minute, followed by Emily Kavanaugh and Emma Wilkins. Nick Boucher got his first win, 3-0. This is Temple's first win over Nova since the first meeting in 1992. Sunday season opener against UCF at home. 2 minutes in, UCF midfielder Katie Bradley gets an easy goal, setting the standard immediately. Another goal from UCF before the half at the 37th minute. It's Mallory Olsen from Kristen Scott. They're up 2-0 at the half. Goalie Cameron Stablian makes 2 saves within minutes of one another. The junior had 7 saves for the afternoon. The 72nd minute, it's UCF's Olsen again to the net, securing a smooth 3-0 win over the Owls.
A weekend trip to Pittsburgh for the women's gymnastics team resulted in a tie between the Panthers and the Owls, who were decked out in their city-themed leotards. The 2 sides scored 194.525 apiece, the first time that Temple has not lost this season. Juliana Rowland was the key factor for the Owls, scoring a 9.9 on the vault, tying her program best set at Bridgeport a season ago. Up next, the Owls play host to UNC on Saturday.
The volleyball team had back-to-back matches this past weekend against USF. This was the team's first AAC matchup this season, and it didn't start off well. We start with Friday's matchup, teams playing best out of 5. All sets but one were won by less than 4 points. Set 3 Temple dominated 25-6. However, USF came back from a 2-1 deficit to win the match 3-2. Saturday's match is another tight one with 32 ties and 18 lead changes across the 4 sets. Junior Jem Grimshaw got her 3rd double-double of the season with 18 kills and 11 digs. The final set, the Owls had a 13-9 run, winning 25-18. The Owls win this match 3-1, their first conference win of the season. It's almost deja vu comparing last to this season with the volleyball team, both seasons having a strong start. The question, will the strong start continue into conference play? Joining me to analyze the next steps is Alexis Pass's Brooklyn Vaughn. Hey, Brooklyn.
Hey, Courtney, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show. So first question I have for you is, which of the volleyball players have been the best at impacting the strong start this season?
So there's a trio of juniors in the class of 2022, Jem Grimshaw, Mariah Bullock-Bossy, and Tyler Lindgren. Those are the 3 that I have to say have been carrying the team offensively. If you look at their kills and points totaled combined, it is insane. Of course, Tyler Lindgren too, even though she's been a huge defensive piece for Temple as well. She was just named 2 weeks ago AAC Offensive Player of the Week. The other 2 getting named to the honor roll week in and week out. So if you had to make me pick who is really carrying the team right now, it's those 3.
Absolutely, and the Owls are approaching about the halfway mark of their season. So what can they do to hopefully not end in the way they did last season?
Sure. So their upcoming stretch of games are 3 matchups that are out of conference. So I say that this is the time that the team really needs to buckle up and fine-tune those areas that they need to improve on, so that moving forward, when you have those 2 back-to-back matches with ECU and Cincinnati to finish off the season in conference, they're able to win when it counts.
Absolutely. Thank you again for joining us, Brooklyn. Catch her on Alex Has Passed every Tuesday with Adam Cornelli. Thank you, Brooklyn.
Thanks, guys. It's always a pleasure.
Those 3 players will be back Friday. The Owls are at home facing AAC preseason favorite UCF Knights. The match will begin at 5, broadcasting on ESPN+. We have 90 seconds to shovel, but coming up, we'll catch up on field hockey and their home opener.
Elsewhere, fencing is in full swing. We'll bring it to you when OwlSports Update comes right back. Welcome back to OwlSports Update. There's an unbeaten team on Temple's campus. Field hockey got off to a quick start and never looked back against Hofstra in last week's home opener. Veronica Novikova scored the game's lone goal for Temple in the first quarter. It was one of only 6 shots taken by the 2 squads combined. For Temple, it was the second straight season-opening shutout. Those 2 openers were separated by 532 days as the traditional fall sport finds itself in the spring setting. Second-year head coach Susan Chufo has the Owls ready to compete in a season unlike any other. At the center of their attack is Grace Shinton, who is described as a Swiss Army knife.
The Temple field hockey team is a work in progress. Vying for a conference title might still be an uphill climb, but after last season, it is easy to see a team heading in the right direction.
When I was given the opportunity to come back to Philadelphia, which to me is home, what I love about Temple was the opportunity to develop the program. I think we're finding out who we are as a program so that we can build on that into the next layer, into the next level of hockey.
The enjoyment from last season is a reason why they are excited for this season return.
Once Coach Chufo got here, kind of flipped a switch in all of us. I think when we realized what we were capable of, we now kind of all have this understanding that whatever position you are on the team, your role is important and your role is helping in the long run, the bigger picture.
And it didn't take long to continue this momentum with a season-opening win over Hofstra.
We are working extremely hard and putting in the effort, and I have seen how much this team has grown.
We want to be physical. We want to be the group that, whether we win or lose, we're going to give you hell, right? So I think that's something that's really exciting for us.
The Owls' next match, the Big East opener against Old Dominion, Saturday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm Sang Nguyen from OwlSports Update.
Fencing had its first of 3 home meets Saturday against Long Island University. 2 matches, 2 wins, and 2 Owls go undefeated. Sabri squad coach Tasia Ford described this meet as a lot of fun considering Long Island University is a new opponent for the Owls. Freshman Sabri Diana Tubercio and junior Epi Naomi Ross went undefeated, going 5-0 and 3-0 respectively. Freshman Sarah Proctor led the Epiists with a 4-2 record. Temple wins both matches with an 18-9 final score, recording a 2-0 record for the day. The Owls will try to continue their success at home. They're hosting Penn State, UNC, St. John's, and NJIT men's team for the Temple's Invitational Sunday. Seniors Eva Hines, Muriel Luke, and Megan Ross will be recognized as part of senior activities. We got one more timeout for the day, but we're bringing back a favorite segment highlighting the best plays.
Plus, I'll get you that lacrosse preview on the other side. OwlSports Update, we'll be right back.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to OwlSports Update. On March 11th of last year, Temple's lacrosse team found out at halftime of a game that the school was going online due to COVID-19, eventually leading to the cancellation of its season. Now they're preparing to retake the field after one of the longer off seasons in recent memory.
Forget the snow. Spring is already here. Lacrosse, a spring sport, is returning after COVID-19 canceled the second half of last year's season after only 9 games. It was the shortest season for the program since 1977. Despite the shortened season and after engaging in an offseason marred by uncertainty, the women are ready for the challenge of this season.
Fall definitely was a challenging part because we've never dealt with a pandemic before. So everything that we were doing and learning was like a whole nother concept and way different than how we've ever been treated before.
Karen Akrasius and teammate Megan Hoffman are back and utilizing the NCAA's free year of eligibility following the pandemic. The duo was a part of a deep senior class from a year ago that included program great Maddie Giebert and had the Owls rolling just prior to the season's cancellation.
I really want to make it to the NCAA tournament, make it to our conference championship and that kind of stuff. So I feel like it was an easy decision for me to come back for my 5th year.
The Owls were tapped to finish 3rd in the American Athletic Conference's 6-team preseason poll. The favorite is national powerhouse Florida, who got all but one first-place vote. That one went to Temple. Everything gets started on the road in Delaware against the Blue Hens on Saturday at noon.
After the game against Delaware, it's an extended homestand for the Owls. 6 straight home games for Temple, wrapping up with its conference schedule opening series against Florida on March 19th and 21st.
We're bringing back an oldie but goodie, Diamond Plays. Here are some of the best plays that happened in athletics this week.
Let's get it started. Getting us started at number 3, it's the men's soccer team against UCF. Goalie Nicholas Hartman has found himself on the AAC honor roll in back-to-back weeks, and you can see why right here. Sending back this shot, one of his 5 saves in the contest, the most by an AAC goalkeeper in a game so far this season. On to number 2, late in the 4th quarter versus ECU, superstar Mia Davis gets the clutch layup to go for the women's basketball team. That's a game winner for the Owls. Davis finishes with 20 points in the victory.
Ranked at number 1 is Juliana Rowland's vault, scoring a 9.9. Rowland's record vault not only earned her the Conference Gymnast of the Week, but she was the 2nd gymnast to reach that value in program history, the first in the past 25 years, sticking it easy in our Diamond Play spot. You've seen the plays, now you vote for which one is your favorite. Mia Davis and her game-winning bucket, Rowland and her history-making vault, or Nicholas Hartman and his save. There's only one way to vote. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at OwlSports Update. Results will be announced next week.
Weather and COVID-19 cancellations have significantly changed Temple Athletics' weekend plans. Still, women's track and field is headed to North Carolina to the Camel City Invitational. Men's cross country travels to Richmond for an invitational. Field hockey has its Big East schedule opening series at Old Dominion. Women's lacrosse opens up its season at Delaware. Fencing is hosting its invitational on Sunday. Athletics plate is loaded, as you can see on this weekend's final day with 5 teams in action. For coverage of all this and more, follow at OwlSports Update on Twitter.
Well, our time together is almost at an end, but OSU is never stopping content for no one. Friday at noon, courts in session with Sage Hurley and Josh Saffron with more updates on all things basketball. Monday at noon, catch OSU Sports Brief recapping the weekend events. Then Tuesday, it's Brooklyn Vaughn and Adam Cronali bringing more analysis of Temple Athletics. We have to say goodbye for now, but 30 more minutes of Temple coverage is coming back next week.
Dom Gillespie and Jackson Neal will be in the studio, hopefully, Thursday at noon, our normal time for OwlSports Update. As for us, she's Courtney Murphy, I'm Ray Dunne. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Clinton, if you will. Reasonable chance for them to